I went to see Nosferatu in theaters the other day with a friend of mine. And I know that a lot of people are saying what their kind of feedback is in the movie. And sure, I'll put my 2 cents in as well. I have seen a lot of Nosferatu movies. There are some spin-offs, there are some, like obviously I've seen the original a few times, and I've seen, another movie in the 70s and whatnot. So I do recommend a person to have the general knowledge of Nosferatu, because a lot of people see vampire movies and Dracula movies. And yes, Dracula is Nosferatu. There's a lot of kind of overlap between the two, but usually when there's a Dracula movie, he's more charismatic, he's more charming and talkative and whatever. Nosferatu is not that. He is a person with generally a few words, generally more doom talking. He's more monstrous. He's not meant to look great. He's not meant for women to swoon over him. Like, enough of these sparkly vampire things. Like, he's not meant to be that at all. And so if people have that general knowledge, I think they will go into this movie in a better spot. Because what I'm seeing with reviews is some people saying they're bored and some people not liking the look of him and whatever. And I'm like, Nosferatu is a slow movie. And Robert Eggers does not change that. He puts his own spin on visuals. He always has visually beautiful movies to me. I always love the way that he frames his shots and how artistically he does different things. And he does a really good job in this movie. But it is a slow movie. It is a movie that is a very gothic movie. It's definitely a mood movie. It's not an action-packed type vampire movie at all. It's very moody. It's very creepy. It's very atmospheric. It's not a very action-filled. I will say that I think it could have been a shorter movie. I will say that. I will say they could have shortened up a few of the characters, because I think some of the characters had more runtime than they really needed. But on the whole, it was an okay movie. I don't find a lot to the movie that I can nitpick. Do I like the female characters of the movie? No, not really. I have a few different female characters to view from and to think about in a Nosferatu setting. And as much as I don't disagree with the actors that were chosen to do the different things, I don't think they were the best. Van Helsing was a good decision, I think. But the other actors that weren't Nosferatu, because I think that was a good decision, I think the other characters of the film kind of fell flat for me. But I do recommend you looking at the history of this film, and I do recommend watching the film. I just think that you going in thinking that it's going to be a more horrific film or a hopeful film, you're going to be left disappointed. You definitely are. Because the entire film is not hopeful. They go for, Edgar stays true to the original big plot points of the movie. He does. And so I'm not saying that you have to like it or not like it, but like the slowness of the movie and the the themes of that movie and whatever are still there. He hasn't really done his own spin on the plot and how the plot unravels during the movie, but he kind of does his own spin on the artistry of how this movie plays out and how the movie is filmed and shot and whatever. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I know that there's a lot of people talking about this film out there, so I'm not going to ramble on and on about this film. That's just my take as far as trying to make it into a film that if you see it in theaters, you're not going to be totally disappointed. I love the way that it's shot. I love Count Orlok. The way that he looks makes total sense to me. I think he had more dialogue than he needed, but I think the film itself could have been shorter, and a lot of people had more dialogue than they needed. So I don't think that's specifically with him. Yeah, I just say go and enjoy this film. I think that it worked really well in a cinema atmosphere. I think if you're watching it on streaming and whatever, having a bigger screen and having the lights off and surround sound would probably be a really good way to view the film. I do not see it as being something that would be very effective on a small screen. I see it being really well received on a big screen. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents. I can keep rambling about it for a lot longer, but I'm gonna refrain and I'm gonna use some restraint and stop there. Let me know how you think of the film. Have you watched the film? What do you think? I want to know. With that being said, I hope that you're having the best day that you could be having today and in your situation, and I will talk to you later.